I think we all just got a swift kick in the pants. Life by You has been canceled. How did this happen? And what does it mean for the future of life sim competitors? This news might be a shock to some of you, and might be something others of you predicted. Let's dissect what happened and the aftermath of it all. I had high hopes for Life by You. The news of this game was very exciting, especially since early access was already decided with the first initial announcement. Like, straight away, this game seemed legit. Sure, it was being developed by a small team, but it was an experienced small team being led by a former Sims 2 dev. Plus, it was being backed by the same publishing company that published City Skylines, The Sim City Killer, The Sim City Killer. This one seemed like the game that was most likely going to succeed. Okay, yeah, I'll be the first to admit I wasn't crazy about the visuals. I found the humans ugly, and the graphics overall were not particularly stunning. There wasn't anything here, visually, that made me go, wow. The animations weren't anything to call home about either. Like, there really wasn't anything that got me really excited. There were other little things here and there that I wasn't a big fan of, as well. All seemingly small things. You can go back and watch my other videos if you want to hear my full review on certain things and what these small things might have been. Then, there was the stuff I learned about online that I disliked about Life by You. Like them using free store assets, relying heavily on modders and content creators to enhance the aesthetic and functionality, and at the end of the day, make the game interesting. The emphasis on modding was sort of their big mistake. It was a choice for them to rely on the community for it, and honestly, it was slightly confusing. Am I the only one who thought it was slightly confusing? To a certain extent, it really wasn't modding in a traditional sense. It was actually more like customization, and everything could have been customized. Literally everything. Which was cool, don't get me wrong, but also, like I said, slightly confusing. So, what happened?
Well, to be fair...
Oh, don't say to be fair. I hate when people say to be fair.
To be fair, this didn't come out of the blue. People were speculating that the game wasn't going to come out for a little bit now. Anywho, it was cancelled because it failed to meet their expectations and the ones set by the community. Which makes sense. We've all seen or heard what some players expected or wanted from the game. You've probably even heard it from me as well in past videos. We all have hopes and dreams about the potential life sim that could beat out the Sims franchise, or just be something to shake up the genre. That's the dream, right? Well, funny enough, those expectations do actually impact the development of those potential life sims, and sometimes they impact them in a negative way. Long story short, the game wasn't up to par with what Paradox wanted based on their expectations and the community's expectations. And they really couldn't afford another game to fail at launch, like City Skylines 2. City Skylines, the first one, was highly praised. However, when the second one launched, it received terrible reviews, like straight out the gate. Essentially, players say that the mechanics and system of the game are broken. Like, it looks good on the surface, but the game itself isn't great. Your actions don't impact anything, there's tons of bugs, and the simulation aspects of the game are severely lacking. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? Sort of reminds me of the popular game that launched in 2014. I think you know the one I'm talking about. That Plum Bob game. A Life by You developer has spoken out about the cancellation. They talked about how they've known for some time that they might be getting shut down. As far as it goes, they were doing extremely well. They had the eternal metric that they were aiming for that had been approved. They succeeded that number by a significant portion. They also got the thumbs up a few weeks before launch. Then they got canceled and lost their jobs and were informed about that decision via public announcement. The team tried to prove their worth, like finding potential buyers, or talked about cutting ties and going indie. The developer describes the situation as a strong team on a strong project ready to launch to a strong audience. This must have been a horrible situation to be in. Of course it sucks to lose your job and the project you spent so long working on just like that. Like, these people spent 6 years working on this game. Nevertheless, I wonder why the developer doesn't acknowledge or mention any of the pitfalls of Life by You, and why some people weren't getting excited about it. Like, the humans were still ugly and didn't even have the correct anatomy. They put all of their effort into creating something that was highly moddable, but they forgot that they needed to have an actual game to begin with. They got way too detailed in some areas, but missed the full picture. This is a good warning to players. We all want a fantastic life sim. We have high expectations, but maybe, just maybe, we need to lower those. Maybe we need to be more realistic with them. We should lay off the pressure and let the developers of potential life sims show us what they got going on, rather than expecting or predicting or projecting what they got going on. How does this affect other life sims? I mean, it's less competition. Other than that, they can learn a valuable lesson here. Don't hyper-focus on one element, don't bite off more than you can chew, and stay organized with a clear vision of the game. For the players, we have to remember that it'll be nearly impossible for a new game to be able to match a 10-year-old game that is backed by a well-known billion-dollar publisher straight away. Let's let them come into their own. Let's keep our expectations low. Let's not project anything onto these developers and onto these games. I think we should just take it as it comes and enjoy the ride. What upcoming life sim are you most excited about? I'm most excited about Paralives and Viva Land for sure. That's just my personal preference though. So what about you? Thank you for being here. You're awesome, and I appreciate that you've watched until the end. Let's do this again soon, okay? Until then, bye.